Big Blue. Stop right now. MetLife Stadium just exploded with breaking news. And one fact is already on the table. A second surgery on a knee that was supposed to be fully healed. Malik Neighbors hit a massive roadblock in his recovery. A rookie linebacker named Jack Kelly is quietly forcing his way into the defensive rotation, and a six-time Pro Bowler sits by the phone waiting for New York to call. Insiders dropped the truth this morning. Neighbors underwent a second procedure on his torn right ACL and meniscus, turning a standard timeline into an absolute alarm bell for the entire franchise. If you bleed blue, white, and red more than you hate the Eagles, hit like and subscribe right now. We start with the injury situation that has Big Blue shaking to its core. Stay locked for the double cliffhanger. The New York Giants are entering training camp with a dark cloud hovering directly over their offense, and it all centers on their superstar wide receiver. When you look at what this team did during the offseason, letting Wan'Dale Robinson walk to the Tennessee Titans was a calculated risk that depended entirely on one key assumption: Malik Neighbors being healthy and ready to dominate in Week 1. But according to ESPN insider Ben Solak, the situation surrounding his knee recovery has turned weird, problematic, and downright alarming for everyone in Big Blue Nation. Whispers turned into footsteps, and the identity everyone is asking about is Malik Neighbors, with the entire front office feeling the immense pressure. Neighbors originally tore his right ACL back in Week 4 of the 2025 season, undergoing surgery to repair both the torn ligament and the meniscus damage just a month later. That was supposed to be the start of a standard recovery process. Then came this past spring, when news leaked that Neighbors quietly had to undergo a second procedure on that exact same knee to clean up scar tissue causing persistent stiffness and restricting his full extension. Think about what that really means for a franchise attempting to rebuild its momentum. A second procedure on a major knee recovery is never routine, and it signals that something went seriously off track behind closed doors. New head coach John Harbaugh addressed the media during mandatory minicamp and candidly called the injury not a simple knee, admitting that the organization's ultimate goal is merely to get him out there sometime during training camp. But any further delay in West Virginia will send shockwaves through the entire building. With Jackson Dart entering his critical second season as the starting quarterback, losing Neighbors for any regular season games forces New York to rely on an aged patchwork receiving core featuring Darnell Mooney, Calvin Austin, Juju Smith-Schuster, Braxton Berrios, and Odell Beckham Jr. If Neighbors is sidelined, the Giants could easily end up with one of the least effective passing attacks in the entire NFL. Think about the domino effect this creates across the entire scheme. Opposing defensive coordinators will no longer need to roll extra safety coverage over the top, allowing them to stack 8 men in the box and stifle the run game. That puts immense unfair pressure on Jackson Dart to make miraculous plays out of structure every single third down. When you look back at how young quarterbacks struggle without a true primary target, the statistical drop-off is historic. Without Neighbors commanding double teams, passing lanes shrink dramatically, routes take longer to develop, and sack rates skyrocket. Insiders like Jordan Raanan have even floated the terrifying possibility that Neighbors could miss the first 4 to 5 weeks of the regular season if his range of motion does not improve. Is Darius Slayton truly ready to shoulder the load as the primary wideout? Or will Jackson Dart be left stranded without a true downfield weapon? Drop your exact ranking of this wide receiver room in the comments below. If you believe the Giants must protect Dart at all costs, smash that like button right now and show everyone where Big Blue stands. But as massive as this injury headline is, the next story cuts directly into the defensive side of the ball, where an unheralded rookie is quietly turning heads. Stay locked. While the headlines are dominated by wide receiver drama, defensive coordinator Denard Wilson might have uncovered an unheralded weapon in the draft, who is much closer to a real defensive role than fans realize. Scouts called his playstyle calculated violence, and the front office absolutely loved the value they got on draft day. The question was not if he would make an impact, but when. The name everyone needs to learn right now is Jack Kelly. Drafted in the 6th round out of BYU with the 193rd overall pick, Kelly was initially viewed by consensus analysts as a depth piece slated primarily for special teams duty while fighting for a spot on the final 53-man roster. However, his unique physical profile and relentless motor are making it impossible for the coaching staff to keep him buried on the bench. Standing 6 feet 2 inches tall and weighing 240 pounds, Kelly is technically listed as an off-ball linebacker, but his game cannot be boxed into a single position. He is a point-and-shoot destroyer who was unleashed from multiple alignments in college. At BYU, roughly 20% of his defensive snaps came as a legitimate edge defender, taking 128 snaps on the edge and even 40 snaps in the slot. On just 99 pass rush snaps, Kelly produced a staggering 9 sacks, finishing second in sacks among all off-ball linebackers in Power 4 conferences. He possesses explosive burst and downhill physicality to disrupt the pocket, while still maintaining the fluid athleticism required to drop into pass coverage when needed. His defensive skill set translates smoothly into Wilson's aggressive scheme, mirroring the hybrid linebacker edge role that Leo Chenal made famous with the Kansas City Chiefs before signing a massive 3-year, $24 million contract with the Washington Commanders. The Giants clearly targeted this exact archetype during the offseason by drafting both Kelly and Arvell Reese. In Wilson's defense, confusion is the ultimate weapon. By deploying a player like Kelly who can line up as a traditional stack linebacker on first down and then shift directly onto the line of scrimmage as an edge rusher on third down, offensive lines are forced to declare their protection schemes early. That creates one-on-one opportunities for the defensive interior, accelerating the pass rush without having to bring dangerous secondary blitzes. Analysts across the league are pointing out that Kelly's conversion rate on pass rushes, averaging roughly 1 sack for every 10 times he rushed the passer in college, is the kind of numerical anomaly that forces defensive coaches to design specific sub-packages for him immediately. If Kelly continues to dominate in training camp, he will easily beat out Darius Moasout to secure the 4th linebacker spot behind Tremaine Edmonds, Arvell Reese, and Micah McFadden, allowing Wilson to blur position lines and unleash him on third downs. Do you think Jack Kelly can become a true defensive star in his rookie season? Drop your boldest prediction for his sack total below. If you believe Big Blue's defense will shock the NFC East, smash that like button right now. But as promising as Kelly looks, the front office has a no-brainer move staring them directly in the face. Stay locked. There is an absolute no-brainer move sitting right on General Manager Joe Schoen's desk, and pretending it does not exist is no longer an option as training camp gets underway at the Greenbrier Resort in White Sulphur Springs, West Virginia. A move 3 years in the making, or at least one that solves an immediate crisis. Sources say the file sat on the desk since free agency began. And the identity everyone's asking about is 6-time Pro Bowler Keenan Allen. With Malik Neighbors' timeline up in the air following his second knee procedure, bringing in a seasoned, reliable target for second-year quarterback Jackson Dart is the smartest business decision the Giants could possibly make. Bleacher Report insider Christopher Knox recently highlighted Big Blue as the most logical landing spot for the veteran wideout, and the numbers back it up completely. It is not every day that a fringe Hall of Fame chain mover with 12,051 receiving yards and 70 career touchdowns is sitting on the open market this late in the summer. At 34 years old, Allen is no longer the explosive vertical threat he was during his prime Pro Bowl years, but he remains one of the most sophisticated route runners in professional football. Last season alone, Allen hauled in 81 receptions for 777 yards and 4 touchdowns. He knows how to find soft spots against zone coverages and win contested catches on crucial third downs. Signing Allen comes with virtually zero financial risk or guaranteed starting promises. He would simply enter camp to compete alongside Juju Smith-Schuster, Braxton Berrios, and Calvin Austin for those final receiving slots on the roster. At worst, you gain a veteran mentor who elevates the competition in the room. At best, you secure a proven safety net that keeps Jackson Dart's development on track if Neighbors is forced to miss early regular season games. Think about what a veteran presence of this caliber brings to a quarterback in his second year. When young signal callers panic under pressure, they need a wideout who understands leverage and can uncover instantly on short underneath routes. Allen has built an entire career on being the ultimate safety valve on third and medium situations. Having a receiver who can consistently win within 2.5 seconds of the snap transforms the entire efficiency of the play sheet, taking the weight off Dart's shoulders during crunch time. Veteran football analysts emphasize that in tight divisional games against brutal pass rushes like Philadelphia or Dallas, having a target who can adjust his route on the fly based on pre-snap safety rotations is invaluable. It gives a young quarterback an instant answer when the blitz comes, preventing back-breaking turnovers and keeping drives alive. Are you comfortable starting the season with Darius Slayton and Darnell Mooney as your top targets? Or do the Giants need to make the call immediately? Comment sign Keenan right now if you want to see him in Big Blue, and hit that like button to make your voice heard across the league. But as the squad prepares for the upcoming battles, the entire picture for New York comes down to one final, dramatic conclusion. 3 massive storylines, one defining crossroads for the New York Giants. A superstar wide receiver facing a delicate and complicated recovery after a second knee procedure, a relentless rookie linebacker in Jack Kelly threatening to shatter rotation expectations, and a legendary veteran in Keenan Allen waiting for the phone call that could safeguard Jackson Dart's second NFL season. New York cannot afford to play it safe or coast through training camp expecting things to magically fix themselves. The NFC East is a brutal gauntlet, And with a young quarterback attempting to take the next step in his progression, every single decision made by Joe Schoen and John Harbaugh will dictate whether this franchise fights for a playoff spot or stumbles into chaos. If Neighbors misses significant time and the front office fails to secure veteran depth, this passing offense risks becoming stagnant and predictable against elite defenses. However, if Jack Kelly anchors an aggressive hybrid role under Dennard Wilson and the management aggressively bolsters the receiving room, Big Blue will possess the depth and grit required to go toe-to-toe with anyone on the schedule. The mathematical reality is clear, and the window to establish a new winning culture starts right now in West Virginia. Here is what I need from Giants Nation today. 1. Smash that like button if you believe Big Blue has what it takes to shock the league and conquer the division this year. 2. Drop a comment below with your exact win-loss prediction for Jackson Dart and the Giants this season. Are we winning 8 games, making the wild card, or surprising everyone with a deep postseason run? 3. Subscribe to the channel immediately, because every new subscriber helps us outshout Cowboys and Eagles fans while guaranteeing you never miss a single update as training camp unfolds. But listen closely, because the edge of the cliff is right here. Local beat reports indicate that Malik Nubber's camp is seeking additional medical opinions regarding his knee, and a potential roster movement could be announced within the next 48 hours. Meanwhile, the Philadelphia Eagles just cleared cap space and are reportedly lurking around the exact same free agent receiver targets to keep New York from adding help. Which domino falls first? Hit subscribe, stay locked, and let us bring the roar back to MetLife Stadium.